Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome to Crafty Little Things. Today I'm just going to talk about ways you can get Stampin' Up stuff a little bit cheaper. A lot of people do say that Stampin' Up products are expensive, and they are because they're really high quality. And there's been a little bit of kerfuffle lately with people trying to copy them and sell them cheaper and things like that. And there are certain rules around what we as demonstrators can do with Stampin' Up products. You know, for instance, we're not allowed to sell them on eBay using our discount to make them cheaper in the catalogue. We're not allowed to sell things direct from ourselves, so we don't keep a stock as such. We can with some things like consumables like glue and things like that, but we can't have a stock of stamp sets and sell them a little bit cheaper direct because, you know, our applying our discount, because obviously demonstrators do get a discount, and that's a good reason why you should become a demonstrator, and that's one of my money saving tips that I'll come on to later. But if a demonstrator gets a 20% discount on a stamp set and then sells it, you know, at a 10% discount to a customer, that is a big no-no. Not allowed to do that. Not allowed to sell on eBay anything that's current. So anything that's retired, you can do what you like with. Right, so the best ways then to save money with Stampin' Up. There are lots of ways, legitimate ways to save money with Stampin' Up. One of them is to buy bundles. Oh, and I turned straight to one by sheer chance. So you'll see in the catalogue there's Lovely Inside and Out bundle, and usually they contain a stamp set. This is the one this one contains, and dies or punch. Usually that is it. It's usually a stamp set and a punch or a die in the main catalogue. Not a die set or a punch. And you'll get that at a 10% saving if you buy the two together. And quite often it's quite sensible to buy the two together anyway. So that's one way, is to look out for bundles, because they save you automatically 10%. Another way is to buy retiring products. Quite often retiring products are discounted. There aren't a lot of discounts on the retiring list at the moment, but there are some. So you can have a look at the retiring list at the moment, because this catalogue is retiring on the 31st of May, so its days are very, very numbered now. And so look on the retiring list and see if there's anything on there that's discounted. The other thing you can do is look on the clearance rack. Now the clearance rack is updated quite regularly, and it often has some really good bargains on there. I did a video not so long ago of some clearance rack goodies that I picked up, and they're usually really heavily discounted once they're on the clearance rack. You might want to keep an eye out on the clearance rack around the second week in June, because it might get updated, and there might be some bargains to be had there. The next way you can get your hands on some Stampin' Up stuff a little bit cheaper is to look on eBay and resale sites. Now, whilst a current demonstrator isn't allowed to sell on eBay or resale sites any current stock, ex-demonstrators and non-demonstrators are allowed to sell current stock on those sites. So you might find something on eBay, although I must warn you that quite often on eBay, things, Stampin' Up products go for more than they're actually selling for in the catalogue. So do always check, because you could look on eBay and you could see a stamp set that's £15 and, you know, £2.95 postage or something, and you could go back to the catalogue and it's only £11 or something. So always do check back. Don't assume that just because it's on eBay it's cheaper. I've seen things like a little punch that was £12 in here, and it was selling on eBay for £20-something, and I thought, well, that's cheaper in the catalogue. So if you're able to get a look at the catalogue, which you should be because it's just online, and find a demonstrator, do check, because you know, it might not be the bargain you thought it was. On Facebook, there are lots of groups. If you type in Stampin' Up sales or Stampin' Up selling, lots of groups where demonstrators, ex-demonstrators sell their items, and they also have in search of sort of comments, if you like. So there's an in search of post where people can put on what they're looking for, if you're looking for something specific, especially if it's retired. I don't think you can do an in search of. On most of them, they do have a rule that you can't be in search of something current. The next thing is, and I do find, before I go on to the next thing, I do find personally that on the Facebook resale sites, you do tend to get a better deal than on eBay, because for one, you'd have to wait. You usually just say straight away, yes please, I'll take it. The price and the postage is usually quite clear. The transaction's very quick. I've bought lots of things from groups like Stampin UK, I think it's called, and you know, I've never had a problem with those. The other way you can save a bit of money is to do shares. Now, what a share is where a few of you get together as customers or even as demonstrators, and you buy packs of DSP, packs of ribbon, packs of embellishments even, packs of cardstock, and you share them out between you. So that's a good way of getting a good range of designs and colours, and without breaking the bank. And what you usually find is if you do a share and you get like for instance, you get every single, if you were to buy every single DSP in the new catalogue, it would be expensive. If you were to buy every single colour of cardstock, it would be expensive. So what you do is you get together with a few friends and you order all the cardstock, all the DSPs, and you split them between you. Usually it works well splitting between 2 or 4. Some of the pages do have to be cut down, but it still gives you that sample. And if you're a card maker and you tend to make smaller projects, that's no big deal. And what you find is you can see the papers that you absolutely love. You've got them in your hands where they look so much different. You can see the ones you love, and then you can go ahead and buy the full pack for yourself. This is another way of saving. This doesn't really save you money, but if you want these colour coordinated packs of cardstock, instead of buying a whole pack of pink, a whole pack of blue, a whole pack of vanilla, you can buy one of those, and you get the 3 colours for $7.25 at the moment. Okay, so do consider that as another money saving thing. The ribbon shares, what you tend to get is, this catalogue came out with, I think it was 51 different ribbons, and I did a ribbon share, and I've still got loads of them, and fortunately lots of them are carrying on, and it worked out, you know, really good value, and we just got like a metre each. You can do shares with things like binder clips even, you know, you get 10 clips in a bag for $6.50. You can buy a pack and split it between 2 of you. You know, you can split a sheet of rhinestones between 2 of you. There's all sorts you can do to minimise the cost. And then once you've got that item, because we don't have stock samples to sort of go around and show people. We do if we do classes and things, but it's not like an Anne Summers party where everything's laid out there for you to have a look at and try and stuff. But because we don't do that, it's useful for you to get the stuff in your hands. And if you don't like stuff, it's okay to return it. Now, some people do paper shares. There's a fantastic offer on at the moment for the new catalogue, which comes out next week, on Positively Papercraft. It's so fantastic, even I've joined in with it, and I'm a demonstrator. And that's, there's a paper share which gets you so many papers. I think it works out something like 4p a sheet, but it's every single one of the new papers, and then some. So that's I think it's £44. And then she's also doing a ribbon share, which gets you most of the new ribbons, but there's some freebies thrown in as well. And I think the ribbon share is 20 something pounds. I think it's 70 something pounds, £72 for both, but you can opt into one or the other or both if you want. And if you want to opt in for 2 shares, you can opt in for 2 shares and ask for your paper to be cut in half rather than into 6, into 12 by 6s rather than 6 by 6s. So do go over, I'll put the link below, but I've put it here as well, and have a look at that if you want. That's the best deal I've seen from a demonstrator yet. And I know personally that those orders will be processed quickly and will be packaged lovely, and they'll be sent out efficiently. So that's the other thing, shares. Another way to get a nice sample of a range of Stampin' Up goodies is to opt into one of the demos who do kits. And that's a good way to save money because you haven't got to buy all of the items in the kit. You're getting part of the item in the kit. So you might get a strip of rhinestones, you might get a metre of ribbon, you might get 4 pieces of a DSP stack, you might get 2 pieces of card, things like that. So you're not having to buy the whole lot. I've seen kits, again, Positively Papercraft have a fantastic monthly kit, which is, I think it's £21. And you can do that on like a subscription basis, so it'll be a themed kit each time. And there's ink spots in there, there's all sorts in there. And you can make projects, and you have access to exclusive demonstrations and things like that. So that's another good way to save money. Another good way to save a little bit of money on Stampin' Up products is to have gifts from demos. Now, you can't ask for a gift from a demo, but a lot of demonstrators do offer gifts when you shop with them. They offer a thank you gift for every order you place, some of them, and that might just be a card or something, but it's a little bit of Stampin' Up kit that you can examine and have a look at and even reuse. If it's got ribbons on it and embellishments on it, you can even reuse them. And some offer much bigger gifts, so they might offer like a whole reel of ribbon or a pack of, dimensionals or something like that. So do, keep returning to your same demonstrator because some of them do offer gifts. There's a little bit of a contention in the demonstrator world in that some of the demonstrators that have masses of customers and therefore earn lots of money from Stampin' Up are able to offer more gifts, and so that attracts more customers that the other demonstrators aren't able to offer if they want to try and make a few pence out of being a demonstrator. So you will find that the larger, the demonstrators with more customers do tend to be able to offer the better gifts. Then there's Celebration. That's another time of the year. That's between the beginning of January and the end of March each year. And what happens there is you get free stamp sets. You accrue freebies for every £45 or £90 that you spend, so you can get free kit there, and that's sometimes stamp sets, but also DSPs. You often find things like this year we had dies in Celebration, and glitter papers, things like that, washi tapes. So yeah, so Celebration's a good time to get your hands on some freebies. And then they do have some offers as well throughout the year. So there might be bundled offers, especially for new catalogues about to come out, or one of the supplements in spring, summer or autumn, winter. There might be a bundled offer with free gifts in that, or the bundle is just at a reduced price, and it might include a whole suite of items like the one we've just seen, or the one that's current at the moment. And finally, becoming a demonstrator. Becoming a demonstrator gives you a discount automatically, in that your first kit is worth £130 and you get to choose that kit. I've done a video a while ago on choosing your kit as a new demonstrator, and your kit's worth £130 but you only pay £99 and you get free postage and packing. So you sort of save yourself 36 quid on that bundle of goods. If you join during celebration, you sometimes get the kit for the £99 plus an extra 2 free stamp sets from the catalogue, which is fantastic. And of course, if you're a demonstrator, you get a discount and you accrue flex points, which you can use against product. And also, as a demonstrator, your orders, you automatically are considered as like a hostess of the party. So you accrue awards based on the volume of your sale on that order. And that is the final way to get discounts on Stampin' Up, and that is to be a hostess of a party and get one of your demonstrators to come around, or if you are the demonstrator, and hold a class in your home, bring some products that they've made, bring some sample products, and they can then, whatever you accrue in terms of orders, you will receive rewards for. So that will be Stampin' Up products. And I think, another way you can get stuff is to take part in challenges. There's lots of Facebook groups, and sometimes they'll have a challenge where they gift a product. It might not be a current product, but that's another way of just getting your hands on some Stampin' Up bits and bobs. And some challenges, design team challenges, usually if you are a demonstrator, they provide the stamp set so that you can take part in the design team challenge. So you might get a free stamp set that way. So that's another advantage of being a demonstrator. So yeah, so there's lots of ways to try Stampin' Up for less money. Yeah, if you are on a tight budget and you do want to try Stampin' Up products, then think of sort of buying a suite so you know it all coordinates. Or instead of buying all of the inks, look at maybe buying the watercolour pencils, or which you'll get all the colours and you'll be able to colour in everything. Or use the clearance rack as well. Yeah, there's lots of ways you can save a little bit of money when you're buying Stampin' Up products. So think of those, and be very careful when you're buying on eBay and things like that you are getting the actual official Stampin' Up product, and that you're not paying more than you'd pay for the new product through a demonstrator. Okay, so I hope that was useful to you. Any questions, just pop them below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you. Bye-bye.